Hi, welcome to the first of what I'm sure will be many weekly updates. This week we are talking about mad inspiration and how to find the places and the things and the ideas that help you get out of your head and create your dreams. If you don't know me yet, I'm Michelle Warner of michellebuildsit.com, where I am showing you step by step in real time how to create a course and info product based business online. And this week, as we just are getting started, we're not talking about anything technical. That's all going to come in the weeks to follow. What I wanted to share this week is all about inspiration because that's where I've been focused this week. I've wanted to have a business like this for many years. I've supported clients and supported companies I was CEO of to create businesses like this, but I've never had one in my own name. And I finally made the commitment to do that. About 2 months ago now, and I was figuring out how to do it and also looking at the landscape of everything that's going on online, all the myths and all the secrets and all the kind of mystery for people who haven't had a backseat pass to this industry the way I have. And it became so important to me to share what it really takes to build a business like this because I just don't want any of you guys struggling the way I see you struggling. And as I thought about how to best do that, I thought, well, obviously, I'm just going to share my path with you because I believe that what I do works. I have seen it work many times. And if I'm going to be doing it for myself anyway, I may as well do it for you, right? And that idea was all fantastic and super energizing. And I got 95, 97% of the way there. And I just couldn't get the last 3%, 3% launched and ready to go for you. And I realized it was just so much resistance, and I don't say I was losing my inspiration, but I needed an extra dose of inspiration to get this over the top. And I know for myself, when I feel like I need that, I kind of have to stop everything else and go chase inspiration. And I've figured out over the years how that works for me. And a lot of times for me, that means road trips and getting outside and getting in nature somehow. And so that's what I did this week. I didn't do a lot of technical stuff for this project. I didn't do a lot of, list building or other huge priorities I have for getting this business off the ground. Instead, I drove 5 hours south through beautiful ancient Native American canyons and reservations and land down to Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is just full of inspiration and magic and enchantment. And that's what I knew I needed. And so I went down there. I spent 3 or 4 days down there just kind of wandering the old streets, meeting artists, meeting all kinds of interesting people. And it was so interesting because within an hour of getting there and within an hour of just wandering the town for a minute, I just found myself rushing back to my hotel room to start putting that last 3% in place. All of a sudden, I knew exactly what it was supposed to look like and exactly how it was supposed to be, after frankly torturing myself with it for probably a month or two of not knowing what it was supposed to look like. So this week, before we get into super technical stuff, I want you to sit back and think about where do you find inspiration and start creating a little bit of an inspiration list that you can turn to when you're feeling blocked. So do you need to go down to the park? I walk to the park 2 or 3 times every day just to get outside. The sun is so important on my inspiration list. What kind of things do you do in order to be inspired? Because as we go through this process, you're going to need to figure out how to be inspired. I'm going to need to figure out how to be inspired. We're all going to get stuck. And that's so important to recognize those feelings. If I hadn't been through this before, I may have sat around for another 2 months wondering why I couldn't get this done. Whereas instead, I recognized right away, like, time out, need to go find some inspiration, need to get the heck out of Dodge. And so I was able to do that and take that action pretty quickly. But if you haven't felt that before, it's a new kind of feeling. So I just want to let you know that that's really normal and it's going to happen. And so if you can start building a toolkit that you can turn to right away, whether again it's a 5 minute walk outside, which I do all the time, like every time I need inspiration, I don't drive 5 hours somewhere. Sometimes I just take a walk. Sometimes I just get in the water. I'm a big water person, so going and finding a pool is huge for me. What can you do to make the resistance less and to make those pauses in your day less? Because that is going to be really important and something that I had to press stop on all of my goals for this week just to make that happen and find that inspiration. So that's, what I was doing this week. I would have preferred to have been, list building, stuff that we're going to be diving into the next couple of weeks. My very logical brain always goes to wanting to hammer stuff out and hustle and get things done. And I've really had to learn how to manage both sides of my brain so that when I do need to stop and when the technical stuff is just going nowhere because it just doesn't matter if I'm not inspired, I need to learn how to stop. And so I'm giving you that permission to stop, to understand what inspires you. And when you need to go get inspired, just go do it. And it's okay because you're going to come back and you are going to get 10 times more done than if you're just staring at your computer screen all day wondering when this is going to end. And so now I'm back. And I'm ready to get going again. And next week, we're really going to dive into some radical list building that I'm super excited about. If you haven't read all my blog posts, you'll see that I pretty much stripped out all of my social media followings when I started this program. So it is time to do some radical list building, get the word out about Michelle Builds It, and just start helping as many people as I possibly can. And that's what we're going to be focusing on next week. And I know a lot of you probably have questions about how to build social media followings and build your list and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to really be diving in on that 100% next week. But in the meantime, take some time this weekend if you haven't and create that inspiration list. Create what we'll now call like your Santa Fe list when you just need to figure out how to get something done and you're not sure how to do it.